I don't know what to
Because
say
you don't
right
want
now.
to stop donating.
I don't know what to say right now. I don't know how to respond to this. I don't know the answer right now.
Gosh, things really aren't looking good for Kyle and Ani, are they? Like, what is this? Day 2, day 3 together in person, maybe? And already, Ani is ready to throw in the towel. Kyle's too much of a mess to keep things going.
I have to stop this.
Jesus Christ, man.
I'm just like emotional. He's just so messed up.
Kyle's evasive, avoidant nature is just a walking red flag. There's really something not right about this guy. But before we dive into all of that, let's just backtrack a bit. So the last time we saw these two, there was a lot of inappropriate touching, and after a lot of back and forth, Kyle eventually confessed that he did naturally inseminate someone while he was vacationing in Australia.
Yesterday, Kyle admitted that he still has been donating sperms through sex. I assumed that he was stopping because he fell in love with me, and I'm really disappointed.
Ani, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's pretty clear by now making any assumption of Kyle is a risky game. I mean, we're talking about a man-child whose hobby is getting women pregnant. The guy has 71 children. 71! So, yeah, this shouldn't come as a surprise, but Ani, if you're considering sticking around, proceed with caution. Like, expect to be disappointed, and disappointed regularly. Honestly, I'm still scratching my head, trying to figure out what Ani sees in him.
I'm willing to give him another chance, and hopefully with some time together, he's going to sacrifice it and choose our relationship.
I really wouldn't hold my breath if I were you, Ani. Now, the thing is, if this show has ever taught us anything, it's that there's nothing quite like a little bit of self-delusion. There's nothing quite like believing that you're the one who's magically going to be able to transform and change a walking red flag of a person. But the thing is, when you're ignoring all of the warning signs, it becomes very hard to have any sympathy for you. Like, pro tip, life lesson 101, focus on someone's actions, not their words. Talk is cheap.
I want her and I care about her, so I'm gonna do what I can to fight for this woman.
Sure, Kyle, like, that sounds nice, it's great in theory, but realistically, when you say you're gonna fight for her, how does that align with your goal of trying to single-handedly repopulate the globe? Like, just watching this guy, it's painfully obvious that he's never really been in a real relationship before. He's alarmingly out of touch with reality. But Annie's desperately trying to put that to the back of her mind for some reason, because tonight she's arranged a nice romantic nighttime yacht cruise for the pair of them.
We are going together on a yacht cruise, and it would be such a romantic setting. I just want to feel relaxed and cozy with him and not to overthink right now.
Get cozy, try not to overthink, and maybe every time he starts talking, imagine you're with someone else. Maybe that way you might have a romantic evening. Now, so far, Kyle has the perfect track record of being inappropriate on every date. And he's really hoping that this time he might be able to summon a little bit of decorum.
Yes! He has new trousers on, and I love it. He looks like a new person. He actually looks really hot in the new trousers.
When you find yourself cheering just because your man has managed to put on pants, that's when you know the bar is very, very low. The sad thing is, at this point, I'm beginning to question if Annie's self-worth is that low too. So now that we've got the pants situation sorted, the logical next step is, of course, to begin discussing starting a family together.
So, what we're doing with the kids, and they travel with us?
Yeah, it would be fun to do that.
When you work during the day, who's going to take care of the baby or the child?
Seriously, what's going on in Annie's head that's even making her entertain this conversation? The idea of starting a family with this guy and jet-setting around the globe with him is pure lunacy. I mean, she's only just seen him wear pants for the first time. They haven't even kissed yet. Like, now's not the time to be drifting off into fantasy land. Let's be real here. Does Kyle really strike you as someone who knows the first thing about taking care of a baby?
Well, you put him in the crib.
No, you don't put it in the crib. You need to teach the child things like show him the colors, teach him the numbers.
Can you honestly picture this guy playing an active role in a child's life? He's too busy playing with himself, fondling his testicles. I have the distinct feeling that in this scenario, Annie would essentially end up being a mother figure for Kyle, because there's clearly some very basic life skills that he's lacking.
Did your mom do this to you?
I don't remember what
Did
we
your
did.
mom work 8 hours and put you on the side?
I don't remember what we did.
Maybe that's the reason why you are like you are.
That seems like quite a plausible theory, doesn't it? That might explain why Kyle seems to be lacking very basic social and emotional skills. Perhaps there's also some deep-rooted, deep, dark psychological theory that might link his mum abandoning him in a playpen to him wanting to impregnate and create as many mothers as possible. Now, I'm no psychologist, but one thing I can tell you for sure is his whole reward system, awarding Annie points every time he's impressed with her, isn't exactly the makings of a solid relationship.
So you know how there's like points, right? You did good on the points. I was doing the math. You have 3 points.
So what I get for 3 points then?
That is 1 kiss.
This whole points reward system is so bizarre. Like, why does Kyle feel like it's his responsibility? He's entitled to decide when affection should be doled out. Like, he's appointed himself the affection gatekeeper. He's here keeping score. But maybe rather than analysing what she should be getting points for, perhaps he should take a look at his own behaviour. Maybe then he might thank his lucky stars that someone's even considering being in a relationship with him. But lucky for Annie, she's now earned enough points to secure her first kiss.
So we're doing this. We're doing this.
All right, okay.
And then I'm going to put my hands on your leg. Okay.
Okay, wow, okay. Is this Kyle's first ever kiss? What the hell is this guy doing? How awkward can one man be? This whole commentary, this whole play-by-play is literally sucking every ounce of romance and spontaneity out of the moment. Like, he keeps asking her, he keeps repeating, "Do I have your consent?" Which just makes this whole thing even more creepy.
Do I have your consent? Do I have your verbal consent?
It's really giving vibes of someone who's only ever had transactional relationships with women before.
The moment needs to be right. Okay, so come here. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
What on earth did I just witness? I was kind of just joking about it being his first kiss, but now I think it actually might have been. Like, this maybe explains a lot. Maybe he was forced to become a sperm donor because he's just that bad with people, with women in general. Honestly, I'm speechless. I've literally seen little kids with more game than he has. But for some completely unknown reason, we join them again the next day as Annie has agreed to another date. She's fully buying into the whole self-delusion I will change him fallacy. You see, today she's taking him shopping.
I really can't stand the idea of seeing him in these jogging shorts anymore. So I'm taking Kai shopping.
Honestly, Annie, I think you're doing the Lord's work with that one. Anything that will make it just that little bit more difficult for him to fondle himself in public would be greatly appreciated. Can we just take a moment to fully appreciate Annie's determination here? Like, this is one determined lady. She seems determined, she seems desperate almost, to do anything humanly possible to salvage a relationship with Kyle.
The dinner cruise last night went very well, even though He's awkward as hell. We had our first kiss, and that makes me a little bit more hopeful.
I really don't know what it was about that kiss or his awkward as hell behaviour that gives her hope, but I'm really beginning to feel like she must have a disastrous dating history. Like, if she's considering this a success, if she sees light at the end of this tunnel, God help her. Most women, at least the women I know, would be thinking of any possible excuse never to kiss him again.
You're probably thinking like, oh, I wish he would have jumped on me just the first day, started kissing me and everything. But I didn't want you to feel like, oh my God, he just coming here because he wanted to have sex.
I don't think Annie's thinking that at all. At least, I really hope she's not. Keep in mind, these two have been talking online for 7 months. They've declared their love for each other. Now, this might be the first time that they're meeting face to face, but I think he's laid enough groundwork to be intimate with her without her feeling used. But the thing is, judging by that kiss on the yacht, it doesn't exactly seem like Kyle knows how to engage in organic, non-transactional intimacy beyond sperm donation, that is.
We'll have a conversation about the whole donation thing later, because it's like a drug addiction, you know, like donating to a woman and not stopping is like you're almost addicted to it.
Is it an addiction, or is it some kind of underlying mental health issue? I mean, I'm being deadly serious here. His compulsive need to impregnate women is something that warrants serious analysis. Like, it is a concern that he sees nothing wrong with his behaviour. He genuinely doesn't seem to think there's anything wrong with him having sex with other women, even though he's in a relationship with Ani. There's something very different, very unique, very strange about the way his brain operates. But one thing is abundantly clear. This so-called hobby is something he doesn't want to give up.
I don't know what to
Because
say
you don't
right
want
now.
to stop donating.
I don't know what to say right now. I don't know how to respond to this. I don't know the answer right now.
Look, if he's gonna defy his girlfriend's wishes and continue to donate, well, the very least he should do is offer some kind of explanation, a rationale for his actions. It's incredibly selfish of him to always answer her questions with, I don't know. He's definitely not ready for a serious relationship, and that's putting it very kindly. I mean, if he wants to be a do-gooder, right, there's plenty of ways that you can contribute towards society without ruining a relationship. Like, don't forget, Ani has been very clear that she wants more children. Couldn't he divert his attention to her? Couldn't he get her pregnant over and over again as a hobby?
I don't want my boyfriend to donate that, you know. Who are you? You're the savior of the world and you have to give all women babies. If you want to be with me, I don't care if there's women who are in need.
It's true, like, Kyle has this saviour complex. He seems to think his greatest contribution to the world is to ensure that every woman can get pregnant. And with Kyle sounding like a stuck record, repeating, I don't know what to say to that question right now, the realisation that she'll probably never be able to get him to stop suddenly leaves her feeling very emotional. Very much like she might be done with him.
I don't really know the answer to the question right now. I'm trying to like...
Oh gosh, I don't know. I have to stop this. He's just so messed up.